And the class trial begins.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monokuma? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Yes, though!
There's a lot of questions that I have right now. Are the killer and the traitor actually one and the same?
Jeez! How about this one? This will be my final blow! It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monokuma.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monokuma. The class trial has started after all.
And I have questions about that fire.
The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for
You
trying
already
to
know
reveal
who
the
killed
traitor,
him. Shut your ass up.
that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
Yeah,
No,
but
that
I
might
mean,
not be it.
why stab him
Are you
so
trying
many
to protect
times?
The traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger.
I mean, you only needed to stab him once to kill him.
Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Especially with a spear like that.
Don't say something so stupid.
So it makes me think it's
There's
personal.
no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
Duct tape? Torture wound? Survival knife? I don't think... Let me see.
The killer didn't tape
Hold on, let me-
Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were
Let me look at my
torturing him.
options. Torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
Yeah, but if they want to
So,
torture
the
him, then
suspect
why cover his mouth with duct
Is
tape?
whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Nagito's wounds, were they really caused by torture? That's the point of torture. Isn't the point of torturing somebody to reveal information? And it's pointless if you can't talk. Alright,
Killer didn't tape
so
Nagito's
I don't think it's
mouth to shut him
Monokuma
up.
panels. I don't think it's Monokuma's
I'm
account.
telling you, they were
Definitely not the
torturing him.
survival knife. So it's either torture wounds
The
or
reason
duct tape,
Nagito's body
probably.
was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, that's
No,
wrong.
that's wrong.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
I think in terms of like figuring out
If
which
he was
one is
being
the right
tortured for
one,
information,
I
he
feel
wouldn't
like I
have
should
taped his
find the
mouth like that.
contradiction first, and then find the argument.
I'm prepared.
I mean, all right. What do you mean you're prepared?
I
Your
just
arguments
realized
are always
it's a trap.
garbage, guy. What do you mean?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
What trap? And you're calling me stupid, but you've never contributed anything useful to a case. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm not gonna go that far because he definitely helped figure out when he disassembled Nekomaru, but
You
like
said if Nagito's mouth was
all
taped
his
shut,
points and cases
obviously
are
assumed he
stupid
couldn't talk.
usually.
That was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
Why was there no blood under the duct tape then,
If you tape
guy?
his mouth shut,
Then how can he talk?
how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it first. The killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
Okay.
Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut. Whew, that was close, you guys.
After they
Thanks to
killed
me, you guys didn't get caught in the trap. Pay attention. This is how it went down.
Which do I have access
the
to
killer
right
tortured
now?
Nagito and got information about the bomb's
duct tape?
location. Then, after they killed him,
Oh,
Allow
okay.
me to cut through those words.
No, that's wrong!
No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
what did you say?
Dude, we've already been over this!
You might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
I mean, if she does, she does, but... I mean... We all know how you feel about
When I
Sonia.
peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth.
I like how she didn't even acknowledge it, dude.
The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
She's right about that.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then,
That's what
are you
I'm
saying
thinking.
the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered
Is
in front of
somebody-
the warehouse.
Is somebody alive that is supposed to be dead?
Yeah. And right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back. Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
Unless it was
Killer
a
isn't one of
setup.
us, but that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Agreed.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Agreed. I think it was the Monokuma panels.
Like what?
Because
I
the
do not know
lineup
that,
was too
that has been the
perfect.
pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia.
I think the
Such
panels
an amazingly high intellect.
were used to knock down the
Alrighty,
lighter on the
Let's
floor
think about this based on what
or
Miss Sonia
on the curtain
thinks.
or whatever.
Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
I think it's Monokuma panels.
The direct cause of the fire was
I think it's this.
the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
Yes.
The killer used
I don't think
some
that's a
kind of setup.
contradiction.
He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
No options.
Some kind of setup?
Yes.
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
No.
They probably just threw the lighter.
No.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
I'm
if they
mad
tipped
that
over
she's
the lighter in
hype
some
about
way,
that.
it could have ignited the curtain.
Correct.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
No.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
No.
Or perhaps opening the door caused
Right there!
intense wind
Wha-
pressure to tip over the lighter.
I'm so triggered!
The oil lighter found
The killer used something, lit the curtain on.
some kind of setup.
Did they use the oil?
They probably just based on the shape it can stand up
If they tipped
I'm
over,
like
it could ignite the curtain.
99% sure that that's it.
some way. Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Fuck
Or
off.
perhaps opening the door caused.
There we
I
go.
agree with that. I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No,
What?
not wind
No.
pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
Yeah, something like that.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
But that wouldn't we
So
hear
the reason
that?
the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
Wait, wasn't there music being played? Like loud
And
music?
one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
I see!
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of
Where
the
did this
fallen
person
panels.
get an MP3 player? Is there somebody in our group that had an MP3 player?
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Okay, so she was able to open it a little bit. No, Akane does not care. She only knows forward and gung-ho.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels.
So my
eventually
question
reached
is,
the
how did
lighter.
they get out? Is that the only entrance?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
Wait a minute. Is there like a picture of like the... Dude, how did they get out of the building?
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
With the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
What?
I see!
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You
Wait!
don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
You don't mean...
Hajime? What do you mean?
Wait! What? No! What? Dude, what?
This is my answer. What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
What
That's not the issue. He's tired, remember?
What is this crap?
It'd be impossible for him to tie up his
Dude,
own
my
arms and
brain is
legs.
gone. My brain.
Yeah,
I can't deal
you're
with
right.
this. I can't.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
But then how did he get out of the building?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
you couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your foot?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and... No, that's wrong.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No,
Not
it
his
shouldn't have
right
been both
arm.
of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
But why was
burned
there's no
because of
burn
it.
marks on his clothes?
You said it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Dude, my brain stopped at the fact that Nagito.
I see.
I just realized I'm in another role right now.
Right sleeve.
I'm about to get
Even though
another
the rope
A.
was burnt up,
Hopefully I don't
his
choke at
sleeve
the
wasn't
end
burned
though.
at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
But how did he
Then
stab his
Nagito's
hand
right
like
arm
that?
wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
What?
Donald, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
What? That's not any
definitely
better.
wrong.
That's basically a
Fine.
prostitute,
I
ain't
just
it?
gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
What?
I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
True.
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
Kazuichi, if you're not going to contribute anything,
Tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's
Look.
something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't even know the answer to that, so let me actually see if I can figure it out.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free,
I think it's
how could he
this one.
stab his right hand with his right hand?
If you threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
I think I agree with
Is
that.
he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
I need to figure out which one I'm going to agree with, or just try both of them.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he
Wait.
threw the knife into the air
Monokuma pen?
and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
Nope.
It's wrong?
There
Even
goes
if
the end of
Nagito's
my
right hand was
roll.
free,
Damn it.
how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
No?
It's wrong?
Okay.
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw
Is
the
it
knife
really
into
the
and let
Monokuma
knife
panels?
fall, could he stab his hand?
Did he really
Is
prop
he
it that
a
way?
knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
No? Wait, what? Alright, I need to rethink my whole situation
Even
here.
if
Hold on,
Nagito's
what
right
is
hand was
this?
free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall,
Is it the
could he
plush?
stab his hand that way?
Hold on, let me actually look
Is
at
he
all
a
these
ground
answers
knife
again.
expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow and slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
What?
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand. Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
I think it's the
If he threw
plush.
the knife and let the knife, could he stab
Alright.
his hand? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with
Okay,
that.
there we go. Finally. Frick, man. I'm over here worried, man. Am I gonna get this right anytime soon?
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach.
And blood on it.
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for
I
a
can't
moment,
believe we
I
have a
seriously
case of
thought
figuring out
Monokuma
how
died or
Nagito killed
something.
himself. Like, this is ridiculous.
Bleeding plushie is super
I mean,
scary.
to be
It's got the
honest,
same
last
fear
case
factor
we
as a doll
had the
whose
same thing with
hair
Sakura,
grows
but-
too long.
Did he
After
really kill
stabbing his
himself?
hand,
I mean,
he
it
no
seems
longer
like
needed
it
the
with the
plushie,
door
So he
situation.
passed it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem.
Like?
The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
I already know how that happened.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If
I
you
think
got
the spear was
penetrated by
last.
something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
That's a poor choice of words! Like, Kazuichi!
Sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time. I need to record it. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Anyway,
Like he said, in that condition, it's very difficult to
yo,
stab
that
yourself with a
is
spear.
that is a very interesting choice of
It'd be hard
words.
to use a spear
You can
with a
tell
knife
how
stabbed
Sonya
into your
gets
right
down,
hand,
man.
while your left hand is tied up.
I already know
So
how
you're saying
that
it's
happened.
impossible.
But
The
no
ceiling.
matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
Well, and then it also supports my.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right?
I'm trying.
That's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right?
My thing is,
Same
though,
goes
I'm
for
trying not
this
to be
time, too.
biased towards my own opinion.
It's against
Because
the rules to interfere with everyone.
if he did kill himself, then that also
If you
supports
even
my
think
theory
about
that the
doing
killer and the
anything,
traitor
I have
are
a
two
plan of
different
my
people.
own.
Monokuma's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first
Of
time.
course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As
Dude.
Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I know. I have,
I did
like,
say difficult, but I never said impossible.
yeah, I agree with that.
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
I have an
You don't
idea,
know.
but I need somebody to help me flesh
It's impossible
out
to figure out by
the
myself.
situation.
So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. Where is it? Do I have it as an option? What the hell?
How did Nagito
What the hell? Why isn't it an option? Do I have to use a memory
Let's
for
work
this?
together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was
Yes.
only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail.
What?
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What?
Flushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
I know what it is. I think I know what it is.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear?
I think it's
Let's
this.
work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
Yes.
He was only able
That's
to move
not a
his left
contradiction.
hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Hold on.
The blood stains on
still
his
too
left
early
hand
to
prove
dismiss
that
the
it looks like he
possibility
was
that he used
holding
his
something
left
in his
hand.
left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up.
Because the
you know?
blood stains are inconsistent.
But there was something off about
And
his
there's
left hand.
also a spot on the
blood stain on the palm of
the,
his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange?
on the wire or whatever you want to call it.
only had
There's
blood
a
on the
spot
lower
that looks
area
like a
of his
hand
palm.
could have went there.
Beyond that point, the blood stain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that blood stain, but it's not the only unnatural blood stain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural blood stain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. There's blood on his palm and the back of his hand. What was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
I see!
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Oh my gosh.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Yeah, the spear!
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think?
I already know.
Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Huh?
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear.
But not
I think.
the spear,
However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
I see!
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then
Yeah.
the blood that was supposed to end up
I'm sure
here
I'm sure you would like me to grip some other things, but
ended
whatever.
up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Is this case really gonna be one part?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
It is.
One step at a time? What does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Are we really doing logic that? Yo, is this case really gonna be one part, dude? This is gonna be like the shortest case ever, dude. Oh wow, that's trash. That is trash, dude. Yo, how do I jump? Oh god, oh there we go. I'm gonna have to claw my hand here. This one. My brain has been fully functional for these past 2 cases, dude. Oh, that is... Yo, come on, dude. That's ass, bro. Come on. Oh, really? Really? Ah! I feel like this is like after we figured out that it was Nagito, I feel like this case has been rather simple to figure out. That Funhouse case was so... Dude. Yo, this guy is whipping out the crossover real quick, man. That Funhouse case, I don't even know how I got on a roll in that case. I feel like that one was probably the hardest in the game. What item connects both the spear and the... What? Wait, hope on... Thank you. Which one do I feel like was the hardest case in this game?
It's all coming together. The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face
I feel
up.
like it was the last
It must
one.
have been perpendicular to him just before that.
The case before that, I totally knew it was
did that all by
Mikan.
himself. Did he have some sort of
And I
ESP?
suspected Mikan before the case even
That'd be
happened.
awesome, but
Which kind of,
probably use the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the
I didn't
cord
want to
over the
believe it was
ceiling girder,
Mikan, but I
using that
mean,
as a support.
if the shoe fits, man.
He hoisted the spear directly above him.
I would say it's probably the Funhouse one or the Pekka one.
And if Nagito
Well-
let go of the cord, the spear
Well-
would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
Nah, I'd probably say the Funhouse one was the
I
hardest.
noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that. He did all that while he was gripping the spear? That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
Dude, my G. If he did do this, that's insane. Like, I don't know any other possibility. Like, I don't...
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer.
No.
His goal was to get us all executed.
That's why he's stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
It's messed up. It's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
I don't think that was the reason. I don't think that was the reason at all.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
Correct.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
But he
Trying to
believed,
make us doubt each other.
as annoying as he
Tried to hide the
was,
truth
he
behind
was
his suicide.
consistent about him believing in hope and being a stepping
Cause a bomb
stone.
scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
I think you guys are
right,
wrong.
I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion.
However,
Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so he'd be executed.
I think he killed himself, but I don't think that's the
That should be
reason.
okay, right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense.
Agreed. For
It's
once.
probably just my imagination.
No, your gut instincts tend to be.
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
No,
What do
we
you
still have
think,
some talking
Tommy?
to do.
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You're right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island.
Dude,
right?
we're not leaving this island! Get that out of your head!
It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Is this really a happy ending?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
Wait!
No! Hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
You're gonna keep going? Here, I thought we were finally finished.
Something that he couldn't tamper with? This music is so eerie! Piece of evidence that he couldn't tamper with? Is it the MP3 player? Or the lighter? Something what? I don't know what that is. What? I honestly have no idea. I have no idea what we're talking about right now.
Crap! Crap!
What is it? What? Dude, what is it? I don't understand.
Crap!
Dude, I'm about to fail out. Like, I don't know. What is it? Dude, I'm gonna go through every piece of evidence before I find out what it is. This sucks. Dude, this music! Dude, I don't know.
Crap!
Dude, I'm failing out. Like, what couldn't he mess with? He had to have been able to mess with this stuff. This is stuff that he can influence. He could have influenced this. This. Dude, I have zero clue. I have no idea. Dude, I've basically picked everything at this point. How am I about to fail out? Dude, I'm done. I'm gonna fail out. Like, I honestly have no idea. Like, at all. Dude, what? What is this?
Crap!
And I failed. And now the vote is me. Great.
We will never give up!
Couldn't be the duct tape, right? Oh, it's not the duct tape.
Crap!
So what is it?
Crap!
Dude, what is it? All right, I'm just gonna pick everyone until I.
Crap!
Well, I don't care anymore, dude. I'm gonna fail out, and that's just it, dude.
Crap!
Dude, I'm like, I don't even know anymore. Dude, I've picked almost everything.
Crap! Crap! Crap!
I see!
What?
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
You mean the time? Dude, I was never gonna pick that, ever. I think I know exactly what that word is. I think I know exactly what that is. I think it's cause of death. Dude, I have no hearts! Please have mercy on me! Dude, I'm not even gonna... Oh my gosh, dude. I'm not even gonna get to it! I'm gonna get everything wrong! Ah, no! Dude, I'm gonna fail this. I'm legit gonna fail this, because... I can't believe this. This is so stupid!
We will never give up.
I didn't even notice that it said that it didn't say cause of death. I was so preoccupied with the time that maybe that was like a distraction. Yo, this everything is just blowing up everywhere, dude. No, my F! Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Wait, what am I want this! Screw that! Where's my A?
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
I never would have guessed that it was the Monokuma file.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Or it's for a reason.
Well, Monokuma,
I plead the fifth!
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
I'm glad you have nothing to say. Now get off the screen.
And before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
You know, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma! You heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now.
Monami, shut your ass up.
That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
So, I guess... Yep, suspended.
No, no!
Hey, hey, hey! Wow. What? Goodbye. Alright, let's figure out the situation with this case once and for all.